Monday, March 25. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. President of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Winston Lawson, is urging small and medium businesses in St. James to take advantage of the recently announced $14 billion stimulus package. He was speaking at the Jamaica Deposit Insurance Corporation Public Forum and Financial Fair held at the Old Hospital Park in Montego Bay, St. James on the weekend. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, on March 7 announced, among other measures, the abolition of the minimum business tax and the asset tax for non-financial businesses, effective April 1. In addition, there will be an increase in the annual general consumption tax threshold to $10 million, up from the current $3 million. Lawson noted that the measures are a welcome stimulus to the micro, small and medium businesses. The JDIC Public Forum and Financial Fair was held under the theme, Empowering Today's Financial Consumer for the Future. The attorney Carolyn Chuck, representing former Education Minister Ruel Reid, has declared that he intends to cooperate fully with investigators probing alleged impropriety at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. The attorney confirmed to the media that investigators from 3 law enforcement agencies carried out a search of Mr. Reid's College Green residence on Saturday. The cops removed items from the residence as a part of the probe. Mr. Reid was fired by Prime Minister Andrew Holness last week following allegations of financial impropriety and nepotism within the ministry. Mr. Reid has denied the allegations. There are assurances from the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information that the controversy that broke last week surrounding the sacking of Portfolio Minister Ruel Reid will not affect the administration of the primary exit profile scheduled for next week. Newly minted State Minister Orlando Terrelong told the Gleaner on the weekend that there has been a seamless transition and that he anticipates no fall in the standard of execution following Reid's shock exit. Terrelong said that he met with Carl Semuda, the non-portfolio minister appointed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness to assist in the interim, and department heads, and that there was consensus that, quote, the education of our children must continue, end quote. A little over 40,000 students at the grade 6 level are to sit the performance task component of language arts and mathematics on March 27 and 28, respectively. Over 500 Jamaicans are to benefit from cataract surgeries at the Kingston Public Hospital performed by Chinese ophthalmologists from the Bright Journey Medical Mission. Come April, the mission, which will be on their second visit to the island, will also be providing equipment and supplies valued at $52.9 million to KPH and carry out training and lectures in ophthalmology and facilitating academic exchanges. This was disclosed by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Mr. Dunstan Bryan, at a recent signing ceremony for a Memorandum of Understanding for the mission between Jamaica and the People's Republic of China. Promising. That's how Prime Minister Andrew Holness described his weekend meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump and other Caribbean leaders at Trump's Mar-a-Lago, Florida residence.
We'll be talking about many subjects. Trade, we always talk about trade, but we'll also be discussing, I have a feeling, Venezuela. That may come up in our conversation. It's become a very big topic all over the world, Venezuela. And we look forward to spending a lot of time together this afternoon and discussing ways that we can be beneficial to you and you can be beneficial to us. And we very much appreciate your being at Mar-a-Lago. It's a great honor. Thank you very much.
We look forward to discussions on energy, on trade, but on security as well. We look forward to discussing regional issues to do with the peace and stability of the region and how we can move forward with the prosperity of our people. So we thank you again for the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wholeness was part of a Caribbean Leaders Summit that included the heads of St. Lucia, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and the Bahamas. Prime Minister Wholeness returned to the island on Sunday. In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, says the country is not slighted or snubbed after not being invited to a meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump. But former Foreign Affairs Minister Ralph Maraj disagrees. He says Trinidad's exclusion should be cause for concern.
Snubbed indeed. This country's absence from a meeting with selected Caribbean leaders and U.S. President Donald Trump today was not by accident.
I think we were deliberately left out of the meeting without a doubt, and it all has to do with our mollycoddling and extreme coziness with a brutal dictator, Nicolas Maduro, not condemning his violation of democracy and human rights, because, we want his dragon field gas. That's what we want.
In fact, according to political commentator and former Foreign Affairs Minister Ralph Maraj, it points to a growing distance between Washington and Port of Spain. He says Dr. Rowley's tone and position does nothing to bridge the widening gap.
We have lost our economic clout as a provider of oil and gas. And in addition to that, now we have this lack of finesse, this elementariness, this brusqueness in the conduct of our relationship of our foreign affairs, and coming from none other than the Prime Minister himself. We need more sophistication, we need more refinement.
Maraj says our country has fallen behind badly.
So we do not stand tall, contrary to what Dr. Rowley has stated yesterday. We stand diminished in the region. We have lost our leadership of CARICOM, which we had. Jamaica now is leading the way.
Maraj also believes that omission from discussions on China's predatory economic practices at today's meeting is a huge blow.
They are burdening the countries with debt for the acquisition of strategic resources to advance their political agenda, their global agenda of establishing China as the preeminent nation in the world. That is what they want to do. And we have to be very, very careful that we are not used as pawns in this Chinese game.
According to Maraj, the Prime Minister's downplaying of the significance of the meeting with select CARICOM leaders will haunt the population.
In Guyana, the Court of Appeal Friday ruled that the motion of no confidence passed by the National Assembly in December last year, resulting in the downfall of the coalition government of President David Granger, was not valid. In a split decision, the three-member panel of judges said that the motion had to be passed by 34 of the 65 members of the National Assembly in order to have been valid. Chancellor of the Judiciary, Yonette Cummings Edwards, and Justice Dawn Gregory ruled that the threshold required for a no-confidence motion was 34 votes, while Justice Rishi Prasad provided a dissenting ruling. Opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo had, on December 21 last year, successfully tabled the motion of no confidence. The government later appealed the High Court ruling that the motion was valid and had referred to issue a conservatory order stopping the countdown of the 90-day period during which the fresh regional and general election had to be held following the passage of a motion of no confidence. The Caribbean Archives Association, CARBICA, in collaboration with the government of Suriname and the International Council on Archives, are now meeting to discuss a range of archival issues, including digital records management. The workshop will allow participants to understand the challenges of digital record keeping and to begin to manage digital records in a cost-effective way. The four-day conference is being held at the Royal Trivia Hotel under the theme Archives at Risk, Preserving Caribbean Heritage. The conference will also include ways of capturing and preserving community memory, migrated archives, reparation, and archive all education. PBCJ's Carol Francis will deliver information on ways of improving archival education. In Cuba, contract of technical assistance was recently signed between Antigua and Barbuda's Agriculture Department and Cuba's Commercial Agriculture Exportation Enterprise, or CATC. Richard Richards tells us more.
A contract of technical assistance was recently subscribed between Antigua and Barbuda's Agriculture Department and Cuba's Commercial Agriculture Exportation Enterprise, known as CATEC. The objective of this agreement is aimed to provide all technical support necessary for the development of modern farming in both directions. Mr. Athil Dean Jonas, Antigua's Minister of Agriculture, and Orlando Suarez Casas, General Manager of CATEC, signed the technical assistance contract at the Negotiation Center at the venue of the 22nd International Agricultural Fair, which took place in Havana from the 16th of March until last Sunday, the 24th.
Antigua and Barbuda has always had
In a short statement for the press, Athil Jonas thanked the Cuban government for its disposition in helping agricultural development in his country. He also said that they are expecting a lot of benefits from this contract and quoted, "For underdeveloped nations like Antigua and Barbuda, our objective is to update and modernize our agriculture in order to increase food production, and this goal should be extended here to all farm workers." He also expressed gratitude for the inclusion of Cuban specialists who will surely give solution to their necessities. 22 countries participated in this agricultural international fair in Havana, including the United Kingdom, Canada, Spain, Brazil, Argentina, Italy, Germany, Mexico, Angola, and Argentina. Direct from Cuba, Richard Richards, Canal Caribe.
In sports, the Reggae Boys suffered a 2-0 defeat against the Central American team El Salvador in the CONCACAF Nations League at the Estadio Concalcan at San Salvador on Saturday night. Despite the loss, Reggae Boys still qualified for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. The Reggae Boys will next be in action on Tuesday against Costa Rica in San Jose province. Ricky Skerritt and Dr. Kishore Shallow have been elected as the new president and vice president, respectively, of Cricket West Indies, CWI. The election took place at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston on the weekend. It is understood that Skerritt, the current head of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association, secured 8 of 12 votes, leaving Jamaican Wycliffe Dave Cameron with 4. Skerritt, a former tourism and sport minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, along with Shallow, prevented Cameron and his vice president and running mate Emmanuel Nanthan from securing a 4th consecutive term in office. The proceedings were done under the observation of international audit firm KPMG. And that's the news on PBCJ. Thanks so much for watching.